We'll start with you, Jen.
Okay. My name is Jamie Joe. I make art content on YouTube. Also, for International Blogging Day, I made a logo, so that's cool.
My name is Stephen. I'm a magician, so I do magic stuff. I also vlog about street performing and busking culture. Cool.
Thanks. My name is Luke. I do whatever I want. I'm also making a film and occasionally uploading to YouTube. Whatever I want.
Just doing your own thing.
Yeah, I don't care about genre.
I think it might be interesting to start with that, because we're here to sort of talk about vlogging as a format, but you have an interesting story in terms of you kind of started doing sketchy type stuff, but also the vlogs, then went more into the vlogs, now you're doing the filmmaking and a bit. How do you feel like your content style has changed over time, and how have vlogs fed into that?
Well, I think first we should define, more for me than anyone else, what we mean by vlog, because when I started YouTube, vlogging was any sitting down in front of a camera and I would make a vlog. But now vlogging is like taking your, like showing your audience your life.
Like a daily vlog, right?
Like a daily vlog. But that's the thing is, daily vlog's a bit of an unhelpful term because I daily vlog sometimes, but not daily. And so it's really difficult. So which one do we mean?
I mean, I think we're going to go with vlogging as a style of sitting down, talking to a camera. It could be about, you know, various topics.
Okay, cool. Right, that helps, thank you. What was your question?
How do you feel like, because you do, for example, you do lots of sketches,
Yes.
fun things like that. How do you feel like vlogs have built into that, as opposed to the music videos you do,
Sure.
sketches, that kind of thing?
Okay, so, I mean, I really try and just make something that I'm passionate about, and try not to stick to a certain genre. Over the years, I guess, my content style has changed to be more like planned. I generally before would just like sit down and go, right, what are we doing? And then I'd intercut it with videos of my cat and then upload that to the internet. That was content back then in 2009. But over the years, I've definitely expanded though, I think, like, because I now have built up an audience of people who'll just kind of watch whatever I upload, which is quite nice. So I can go from doing like a video about why I really like blueberries to like a parody of Taylor Swift, and then I've got another video about why I think porn's bad. That's coming up. I've not released that yet. And so, yeah, I really like how I've evolved. Really is that I've sort of done the opposite of evolve, in that I've just built an audience of people who watch whatever I want, and I now don't really have a style or a format or even like a vlog format. I just do me, and for some reason people watch it.
So don't you think that's nice, that people are sort of, they're not watching you for a certain thing, like people just like you as a person?
Oh, it's lovely. I think it's nice. It's not a very good strategy if you want to be big on YouTube, because YouTube's all based around metadata and tags and consistency. So it's nice for me, and it's nice in like a hypothetical world, but on YouTube it's just awful, so I don't recommend it.
And so does that make it hard, I guess, as well, when you're talking to like brands maybe? Are there any challenges of that, of not having, like, I guess filmmaking more you've got now, but...
Well, I have this really fun story where there's a company called Social Circle who do like some of the branded content stuff with YouTubers, and I've become somewhat of their little add-on thing. So they will have like a campaign, for example, I can't think of an example of when this has been a thing, but they'll have a campaign that they've built with a bunch of YouTubers. They've gone, right, we want to hit this demographic, we want to hit this demographic, we want this type of content, etc. And then they'll have like a bit of money left in the pot, and they'll go, there's this weird man who just sort of does stuff. Do you want him to make something for you? And they go, yeah, okay. And then I make something strange. And so I don't really do the talking to brands anymore, because I have like, as YouTube's grown, we have managers, we have like all this weird stuff. But it definitely makes me harder to pitch, because I don't have a defined category. I'm not a tech vlogger, I'm not a makeup vlogger. And so I think I could be though, couldn't I?
Thank God you're not.
I will try, just for you.
You mix tech and makeup. Makeup vlogging.
Wow, that'd be great.
Niche.
So it definitely makes it harder for like a specific type of company to come and approach me, but it also makes it more broad in that some random people can come and say hello to me, like Marmalade Insurance, who I've just done a video with. who are an insurance company that they don't exist yet, and their whole thing was, we don't exist yet. We want people to know that Marmalade Insurance exists.
Are they insure your marmalade?
No, it's a car insurance company called
That's a niche.
and so I do also have the benefit of being able to sort of apply myself to anything. Whereas if you're a tech vlogger, you can only really cover tech, you can't do anything else. So it's a bit of both.
And so I guess quite on the opposite end of the spectrum, Stephen, you sort of came into YouTube with quite a set thing that you're doing and the magic that you're putting out online. I guess how is your experience different from Luke's in that sense?
Yeah, so my whole channel for so long was just like magic tricks to camera or street magic or things like that. And I felt that was really quite limiting and constraining and difficult. Firstly, like, because of what Luke is saying about the algorithm and the need to upload consistently, I can't realistically work on a trick in a week and then have it good enough. So I'm either pushing myself to the point where I'm not making things I'm quite happy with or things like that, or I'm not uploading at all, which is what happens. And also I think that like doing a channel like mine where you just do like a novelty, right? So if you look at magic as a novelty, means that my channel kind of has the appeal that like a funny cat channel does, right? You go on it, you go, ha, cats, and then you watch a load of cats, you're like, that was satisfying. Maybe you subscribe, but after a while, maybe you've seen enough cats for a while. Cats is a bad example because cats never get old. But you get what I mean? So I kind of feel like that happens a lot, as maybe I churn through subscribers kind of quick because they go, oh, magic, this is really cool. They watch 10 videos and they're like, oh yeah, we don't really care about the man behind the beard. They just care about what I'm doing for a while. So I guess moving into like vlogging stuff and street performing, A, something I find interesting and I like challenging myself to busk, but also as a way of hopefully trying to expand what I am to people a little bit and make my channel a bit more, I don't know, just sustainable and a bit more, hey, I'm a person, not just a card trick machine.
But you are very good at that, for the record.
Thanks.
Okay. And Jamie, bringing you in as well, equally with talent. Luke, you're not untalented, that's not what I'm trying to say here, but you're so multi-talented.
I got a really funny tweet the other day where I tweeted something sad. Sorry, this is a complete tangent, I was just quickly telling the story because it's so funny. I tweeted something about being sad, and someone replied, oh, I wish I could just make everyone I care about happy and successful. I was like, I didn't say I wasn't successful, I just said I wasn't happy. That's rude. Anyway, carry on.
Thank you for that aside. Jamie, coming back to you, equally you have used your talent and put that online, but then sort of people, I guess, have got to know you over time, right? How do you feel like that's changed?
I mean, for me, I kind of categorize myself as both a vlogger and an art YouTuber. My first video I ever uploaded on YouTube was a vlog of me being really excited that another YouTuber had picked my comment suggestion, and so like it's just 10 minutes of me freaking out. And then I feel personally that vlogging is really important for a channel, because like you said, it makes people realize that you're a person, it makes them understand why you're doing a certain thing or how you behave, or for me, like, my voice is always like a weird thing for people because sometimes it changes in accent and fluctuation and everything, and part of that's because I was mute, and that's one of the videos that went really viral on my channel. And luckily that was the video that went viral because it meant that everyone coming in understood that I did art and understood me as a person. And so now I have this really lovely audience of people who both have seen me go from being a little blogger to now doing art exhibition stuff, so it's been fun.
And it's a really, vlogging looks easy, but as I'm sure as anyone who's tried it, it's bloody hard. How, over time, or like how long did it sort of take you to start to genuinely feel comfortable vlogging?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Vlogging took a lot more for me to become comfortable to do, but as far as hardness goes, it takes like 26 hours to make an art video, whereas it takes like 30 minutes to do a vlog. So part of me is always like, oh good, I get to do a vlog today.
It's like a break.
But I really like vlogs though, because especially with my audience, they'll send me their videos every now and again. And there's something that's so nice about someone's just like straight from camera, talking about their day or talking about something they're passionate about, and it's lovely. And I miss that side of YouTube sometimes, where it's just that simple vlog.
But it can be nice, right?
Yeah.
Stephen, equally for you, how long, coming in with the magic, how long did it truly take you to feel comfortable with vlogging?
Well, I've always liked vlogging as a thing, and I've had a second channel where I've dabbled in vlogs, and that always felt good because that whole channel was just me doing whatever I wanted anyway, so I didn't have to worry about any expectations. I still don't fully feel comfortable doing it on my main channel because I think that whenever I have a video that goes viral or does really well, it's always, you know, a magic video, and there's so I know that's what they want, so then I'm like, hey, here's this thing that you never asked for, that you didn't sign up for, and then I'm like doing it, and you know, and then, so I'm not fully confident with it yet, and also I'm kind of aware that there's so many, vlogging is such a thing now, the standard is so high, that to do it in a style that's like unique within reason is really difficult. So I'm not fully comfortable with it yet, is my answer.
But it's a process.
But yeah, I'm much more comfortable with it now. I know that I can upload something, and a part of that is just sort of thinking about what it is you want to do on YouTube and making sure that the thing that you want to do is not compromised by what you think you should do. Because if you just keep doing what you think your audience want, A, your channel will die anyway, because this is like a thing where if you don't change, you just, like all the big channels that die, a lot of them just do the same thing for too long and then that's it. So I think that you kind of have to anyway, but now I'm sort of trying to accept more that, like, if I'm not making stuff I want to make, then why am I doing it? And then forget the view count, he says, crying at the views of his second last video, and then being really happy at the last video. I didn't actually cry, but I was sad for a while.
It's a balance. Luke, to bring you on this, was there ever a point that you felt uncomfortable? Like, what would you go back, what would you say to yourself if you could go back to when you started sort of putting videos on the internet? Have you become more comfortable over time with doing it?
Yeah, I mean, so when I first started YouTube videos, I put all my videos in black and white because I didn't want anyone to know I was ginger.
Shouldn't laugh.
Yeah, you shouldn't laugh. So yeah, I would definitely be, and I would say to myself just to be more, just really try and be so genuine to me, because I was talking in the green room with someone about this. There's a guy on YouTube I watch a lot called Tom Scott, who does science and computer videos. A whole different side of me that I don't read bottom line. And I got into him with this video about time zones, and he's just so clearly like has a personality and is exasperated and is frustrated. And I then met him, and he was exactly like that in real life. And that thing the thing I loved about the video was not the content, it was the personality. And then I met him, and that was his personality. So, yeah, I would really try and tell myself, not that I was ever trying to fake things, but really try and tell myself just, you do have things about you that make you different. Whereas anyone can make a tech video, or anyone can make a parody or whatever, but the thing that makes you stand out is you, and that's nice and cheesy, but that's what I definitely tell me in the past.
That is inspirational AF. Liking it. Equally, Jamie, can I ask you the same question? If you were to go back to that very first vlog that you uploaded, what would you tell yourself now to sort of make it easier, more comfortable?
When I first started vlogging, I had an idea in my head of what vloggers were, and then I tried to be that, and then it changed gradually, and I became more myself online.
I think it takes a while, doesn't it, to figure out who you are in front of a camera, if that makes sense?
That's the thing, is like, at first I was trying to be someone I wasn't. Now I'm definitely more like who I am, because I like being like that. It makes more sense. I used to increase the volume like tenfold on my other videos, so sometimes when you watch them it's horrible. So that's something I would have changed definitely. Other than that, I started YouTube when I was a bit of an awkward teenager, so I think there's always regrets there. But
I think you're not alone in that. I think a lot of people, looking back on it. Another thing that I wanted to bring into this, you have all had second channels at some point. You've all transitioned away from your second channels in various forms.
I have for a reason.
And I'm interested to know what the reason is. Is it because, and mostly you would upload vlogs and daily vlog type stuff on those channels. Have you moved away from that because daily vlogs are now more accepted as like a proper format of content? Like vlogs are their own thing now, right? They're not just to push onto a second channel.
For me, my second channel, I realized I could upload the content to my main channel, and also I was doing so much at the time I couldn't keep up the second channel. But I've also recently stopped doing my cloud channel with Tom because we're going to open up a new family channel, and it's called Dorky Ever After, and I'm so excited about it, so it should be good. So I'm going to have a second channel. Very good.
That's cool.
And for you guys as well, equally, you've both had second channels. Is that what's your sort of, I'm not sure about strategy, but this is, for aspiring creators?
Yeah, two things, I guess. Firstly, I get just massive shiny object syndrome where I have too many things I want to do. So I think for me to get anything done, I need to shut off things. So if I'm struggling, the way I looked at it is like, well, the way I was told to look at it is, if I'm struggling to upload on my main channel, why am I also posting on my second channel?
That's
So, but you could debate that, because a lot of people watch my second channel and didn't watch my main, so it's all a bit weird. But yeah, what you're saying is like, vlogs and stuff can go on the main. I guess I made a decision when I was like, am I going to try and bring over vloggy content to my main, or am I going to just keep them very separate? And I thought, I'm going to try and bring it over, because the more uploads you do, the more watch time, all that stuff, you don't really benefit from the algorithm for diluting content onto different channels, unless you've got radically different audiences on those channels. So for me, it was more about trying to develop an audience on my main channel that liked the vlog stuff and the magic stuff, and then build that up, I think.
My life just got really boring, so I stopped making vlogs. No, I mean, genuinely, I mean,
Well, you've been working hard, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so I basically, lots of different things happened all at the same time, which led me to not bother with my second channel. I lost a bunch of friends to some bad things that they were doing, and so wasn't now going on holidays and doing all this fun stuff, because I wasn't going to do that on my own. I started working on a film, which took over my entire life, and so I couldn't vlog on set, because all those people were professionals, and I would be like, hello, making a film. And also, I was sort of saying, similar to Stephen, where I was thinking, I'm not uploading on my first channel, why have I got a second channel? But also, I got to the opinion of, if I'm making content that I think is not worthy of my first channel, I shouldn't really bother making that content. Like, if I'm making B-grade content, then why am I making it? Like, if I go, oh, I'm not that proud of that one, so don't upload it, delete it. But yeah, mainly my life got really boring and I got really busy. That's not a very fun answer, but there you go.
That's a weird combo. My life is so boring, but
Well, I lost all my friends, and then I broke up with my girlfriend. We broke up. Broke up. Official line. We broke up. No, we broke up. And I was just sort of living on my own, and there was nothing interesting going on. So I thought I'd just focus on the film. Sorry, I'm having a breakdown.
This is so inspirational. Love it. So, last note on that, do you think there is still room for a second channel for budding creators who are, looking at setting up channels? Is that still a thing that they should consider?
I want to do one eventually. Well, I want to do several, but based around the line that Stephen was saying, it has to be wildly different audiences. So I want to make a film education channel, and I want to make a vegan channel.
And a tech makeup channel.
That one too. That's just for you though. I'm making all those videos and send it to you. So they would be genre based. So that's where I would get into genre based content, and I'd have other people working on it with me. I'm in chats to make a film channel with some of the people I made the film with. So we'll see. Everything I say will happen doesn't ever happen. So.
Yeah, I've been tempted to just make just try a whole other niche and build that up. But once again, I have to be like, Stephen, you can barely maintain one YouTube channel. So I would say to anyone that's thinking about multiple channels, it's really hard to maintain one channel and get it to where it needs to be to grow, especially with the algorithm these days and all these uploads. So I'd say probably don't. And it depends. If you're just doing it for fun, you don't care about numbers at all, then literally make 50 channels. Make a new channel per video and just see how maybe it would. But I would reckon if you're quite ambitious about YouTube and you want to grow it, then you can always try a second channel another time. Oh, they've got cardboard with the number 5 on it. That's really, that's like a 5.
Is that a 5-minute warning?
No, they're just a fan of the number 5.
Okay, love it.
This is sponsored by 5. I would recommend that you sort of stick to one channel, give it a really good go for the time being.
Something on YouTube that's happening now though, if you have a really old channel and you don't have that many subscribers and you're trying to grow it and it's really old, it's actually doing worse in the algorithm than if you made a new channel.
I heard.
Wait, say again?
If you make a new channel, say if you're someone who never got over 100K or something, and you've had it for 10 years, the algorithm's punishing you a little bit.
Shall I delete my channel then? Because I did think about it.
I heard this.
If you start a new channel, it's why newer channels are doing better, because new content YouTube recognizes that.
Well, I'm going to do that. Because I literally asked that question to someone on YouTube, and she went, that would be worse, and we don't want you to do that.
Wait. I heard this, and then I heard the total opposite. And I heard that YouTube has a bias to what it calls legacy channels and channels that have been around on the platform for longer. But, before you delete your channel...
No, don't delete it, but it's
Can I just delete it and then not open another one?
No, I'm saying if you start up your vegan channel, then you can have another channel that starts going and see how that
Yeah,
goes.
don't make the second channel illegal.
Okay.
I wish, there's a slight tangent, if I could have one feature from YouTube, well actually there's a few, but one of them, I would love to be able to force unsubscribe people that haven't watched videos. You know on mailing lists, how anyone that sends you an email ever on like a mailing list, they can go and they can see, view all people that haven't opened the past 3 emails and they can just delete you because it actually costs them money to keep you on their list. It costs them like so much money every month. I wish we could do that on YouTube because when you have like for me or Luke, I guess have a similar problem. When I've got like 180,000 subs and then like 2 videos ago I got 8K, it's like I'd rather have 8K subs and then I'd feel fine about it. But that ratio is like crushing, and I don't know where they are. I wish they like properly leave. If you're subscribed to me and you haven't watched, just go. It's killing me. I wish that you could do that. It's totally unrelated to this topic. I just wanted to chime that in and just.
No, I think that's really useful.
I also think that potentially the YouTube, the way YouTube is set up has meant that the mechanisms we used to use to push a second channel no longer exist.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's all about genre, not about individual. And so like, I would used to have my second channel and my friends in my sidebar, and when you press subscribe, it would also offer you to subscribe to the other people who are in my bar, which included my channel. And that's how the majority of the biggest YouTubers, Shane,
how it worked back then,
Dan and Phil, all of them got big from cross-promotion, right? And that doesn't exist anymore. So now having a second channel isn't the same thing. It's not like having it's not...
I miss when you used to be able to customize the page on your YouTube channel. Like, that was fun days.
I also think there's kind of, I don't know how people in the audience think about this, but I often think there's maybe a content limit that people will want to consume from one creator. So to take an extreme example, like someone like iJustine, who at one point had a main channel, another channel, an iPhone vlogging channel, like a Snap, or all these things. I think at a certain point, you just go, ugh, no. So if you have multiple channels, I think if you're doing different niches, it's fine because you're getting different audiences, but in a way, if you have your main channel, your vlogging channel, and then you have the food channel, and then your gaming channel, I think that can always make people go, I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Different. No, I really like iJustine.
That wasn't.
No, you don't. I'm just like explaining my choice. No, I like her.
That was just the first person I could think of that like really doubled down on loads of channels.
Yeah.
But do you watch every iJustine channel?
Maybe.
Yeah, you can. Like, it's not a.
She's got time. James is very busy.
I don't. I have videos playing in the background while I paint.
Oh, okay. So
I'm always painting.
Lots of iJustine.
Yeah,
Cool.
lots of everything.
Ignore everything I just said. I was wrong.
And Last Airbender.
And what?
Last Airbender recently.
Oh, cool.
I like it. Sorry.
Great.
Okay, so we've got a couple of minutes left. I think we'll move on. We've got, apparently we don't.
You have new
Can we
cardboard
take like one question?
Do it.
Just like a
They
big
can't
X.
stop you. You've got the mic.
One
Do it.
question.
So we've got time for one question. No pressure. There's a hand
One
up
over there in the
here.
middle.
It's the only hand.
Yeah,
So
do it.
there's our one question. Do you want to stand up? The mic's
Microphone's coming.
What do we think the questions are going to be?
That'd be really good.
There's a lot of pressure on this question.
Oh no, okay. Quality over quantity is my sort of question. So often we've got a channel where we put a lot of time into our editing, try and make it sort of very cinematic with the B-roll and things. And sometimes it might be that we've not got time to do that for a video. It might be more of like a Q&A type, like a sit-down video. Would you say it's better to upload a video that may not be as best quality, but you're still putting a video out there?
And what is your channel?
The Juicy Vlog, my boyfriend, we do like vlogging and we're going travelling next week, going full time, so.
Oh, cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Algorithm-wise, it is good to upload frequently, but overall, better quality content people are going to appreciate more. So it's whatever you feel like is more important than there.
I would say, in a way, you have to do both, right? So obviously you know that you can't upload crap every day and build a channel. So it's about the audience has to enjoy what we're doing. But quality is not always defined by getting that really good B-roll. Sometimes you just sat there and doing a really sort of low effort video can be as appealing or more appealing. So I wouldn't look at it like, yeah, make good stuff that you're proud of, but every good thing that you make doesn't necessarily have to be a thing which takes you loads of time for it to qualify as good, but still aim for that midpoint between quality and quantity, because the algorithm needs that quantity.
I agree, and I'd also say in your specific situation where so much of your audience is based around your personality and people connecting with you. If you imagine imagine you're a tech channel, your audience just wants to see tech. They don't care about you. Whereas with your channel, they care about you. And so every interaction that that audience member has with you has to be positive. It'll either be a good interaction or it'll be a negative interaction. The more negative interactions you have, they're just going to leave. If they just get bored, because they just, basically, if you're assuming something, you go, either I assume that video will be good, or I assume that video will be bad. And if every time they get a bad video, then they're going to start assuming all your videos are bad. And so, again, it's about a really big balance. You're also fighting against the YouTube algorithm, which wants you to upload all the time, unfortunately. And so, yeah, I'd say just make, like Stephen said, as long as the audience member has a good time watching your video, it doesn't matter what the quality was. But do upload frequently, unfortunately. I'm the worst person to give you that advice, I never upload, but, yes.
I do frequent content with it where I do an art video that takes more time, and then I'll do a challenge video, which I know is still going to do well, but takes me an hour to make. And so if you can find a balance like that of a video where you know it's going to do well still, but just not take the effort, like you said, like that'd be the balance, I guess, that you can deal with. But algorithms, they're great.
Perfect. Hope that answers your question. Thank you for that.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry we've over-talked and don't have time for any more questions. Before we go,
only one question anyway.
Before we go though, one piece of advice that you would have to YouTubers, as now this is first vlog to pro vlogger, you're all pro vloggers, what's your one tip? No pressure.
I've already put my mic down. Honestly, what I said earlier, be yourself and find the bits of yourself that are interesting and amplify them, and don't try and fake being someone else, because people will see through it.
Love it.
I would say, if you're going to make content about a thing that lots of people have made content about, do it in a different way. If you're going to be a daily vlogger and your life is fairly sort of normal in the scheme of things, then the style of the video has to be different. Do you know what I mean? Like, otherwise people are going to be like, well, I'll just watch Casey Neistat. And if you are, or if you've got a really interesting life, then you can kind of vlog in any style, because that's going to drive anyway. So I try and focus on one of those two things, I guess.
One really easy way to kind of take it a little bit more professional is if you take the channel name that you have on your channel and get it across all platforms and make yourself seen as a brand, that helps just add to the professionalism, I guess. But also it's handy just to have it when you do want to go to Twitter and it's taken.
Cool, that's it. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Please give me a round of applause.